Well, I'm going to call this video T minus 10 seconds and holding. As of today, Michigan, which is where I live, is in a state of everybody must stay at home because of the coronavirus pandemic. You can go out, shop for groceries or get gas. Those are the two main things. So I'm pretty disappointed. Today I was supposed to be on a plane flying down to Atlanta, and then tomorrow morning I was supposed to be picked up by a shuttle driver and driven to Amicalola Falls State Park so that I could begin the approach trail. And then the next day I would begin the Appalachian Trail. Well, everything changed about 2 weeks ago. What happened, as you all know, is this coronavirus is hitting a lot of people all over the world. And the Appalachian Trail Conservancy said, if you haven't started your thru-hike, do not start. And if you're on trail, get off trail. And the PCT organization has done the same thing. So it's pretty disappointing. You know, I've reflected on a few things, as we all have. Family is so important. It's so important to keep in touch with your family. Let disagreements and bygones be bygones. Get over it. You really need to think about how important family is, because for the next 3 weeks here in Michigan, we are on a lockdown, basically. Shelter in place. So what I decided to do today was switch my configuration from my backpack to being without my backpack, but get out and exercise a little bit. I've been pretty lacking in the last week, watching other people's videos that are on the AT, trying to give them updates as to what's going on. I realize some people's videos are delayed by a week or two, and you never really know if the people are on trail or off trail. But I have seen quite a few people get off trail, and I have seen other people announce that they're not going to go on trail, at least for a little while. So what I did was I delayed my hike for 60 days, and I will evaluate once more at 60-day mark or before that whether or not I want to head down to Amicalola or not. My problem is I was able to move the flight out, I was able to move the hotel reservation out, and actually I was able to move my shuttle pickup out, but I will not say who my shuttle driver is. But I did not get a warm, fuzzy feeling that he was too happy about changing the date. He did. He's already been paid. So I had to pay that shuttle driver up front, which I don't know. Maybe that's what they all do. But at this point, I don't know if he will give me my money back if I cancel till next year. Second of all, I'm pretty old compared to these 20-year-olds that are out hiking. And the real question is, will I be able to handle a through hike next year? Because every year, what I tell people, when you get to a certain age, you start to age like dog years. So every year that goes by ends up actually feeling like more than 1 year. And I urge everybody that's out there to eat healthy, exercise, and do all that you can to maintain your health. And for young people, and everybody in particular, stop smoking. Begin to exercise. Park. When you go to the mall, shopping center, wherever you happen to go, park out. Park out a ways. Walk. Walk into the store. Exercise. Get your exercise. And believe me, over the course of 40, 50, 60, 70 years, it makes a huge difference in your life and your health. So that's my little tidbit for that. Then the other thing I wanted to talk about was the T minus 60 seconds or whatever it is and counting. Many of you watching this video grew up during the dawn of the space age, and I'd like to quickly reflect on some of the memorable moments in my lifetime. And as I reflect on these moments, if you are close to my age, I think you will recognize many of these that I remember just off the top of my head, going way, way back. I remember listening to the radio when John Glenn entered the Mercury spacecraft and the spacecraft launched on that rocket and he was climbing into the sky, and I think he did maybe 2 or 3 revolutions of the Earth and then re-entered the atmosphere, landed in the ocean. One of our Navy ships picked him up. I remember when President Kennedy was assassinated. I was in school and our teacher was called out into the hallway. When she came back in, she was crying uncontrollably. And she told all of us, "You're all released from school. Go home. If you ride bus, the bus will be here to pick you up. But go home and be with your family." I remember when Martin Luther King was assassinated. Bobby Kennedy was assassinated. I remember when the first space shuttle was launched. But before that, I remember in 1969 being on my grandma's farm in Minnesota, and we sat around a small black and white TV. It had to be, 10 inches in diameter, and we watched the Apollo spacecraft take off for the moon. And then a few days later, we watched Neil Armstrong land on the moon. It's an emotional moment right now for me, just thinking about that. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. It's planted in my memory. Like I said, I remember the first space shuttle when it took off, and when it was re-entering the atmosphere, they did not know if the landing gear would come down, and it didn't come down until the last minute. It was on final approach when the landing gear finally came out, and everybody breathed a sigh of relief when it landed. And then in 1986, when the Space Shuttle Challenger took off and exploded, it was this very special moment for us, because at the time we lived in New Hampshire, and Krista McAuliffe was on that flight as the first teacher in space person, and her life was ended. Very tragic. So, another memory is the 1980 Winter Olympics, when I was watching on a Sunday morning the last hockey game between the U.S. and the USSR, Russia, and how those kids came out of nowhere and they beat the Russians. I mean, it was a collective cheer across America when that happened. We were so proud. And how about Michael Phelps in the Summer Olympics, winning 14 gold medals? It's just amazing. So I ask all of you during this time of crisis to be with your families, reflect on the past, reflect on your good memories, and enjoy life. Enjoy being with your family, spending time with them. It's so important, family. I will be back. I will do other videos. I will hike the Appalachian Trail. I don't know if it'll be this year or next year, but I will be on the trail. Whether I do a through hike, doesn't matter. I just want to be out there, be with nature, reflect on things like I'm doing today. So I hope this finds all of you well. I wish you all the best. And if you like this video or any of the other videos that I put up, please hit the like button. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. And hit that little bell if you haven't done so. When you click on that bell, that means you want to be notified when I put out new videos. And when you click on the bell, there's 3 choices. You want the top choice, which means that you'll be notified whenever I release any video. That way, you can watch the video. You don't have to watch it, but at least you'll be notified when one comes out. So I hope everybody has a great day. I hope you're healthy, and I hope you stay healthy. Until next time, we'll talk at you